my thoughts on Subnautica 2 and what's going on with all that crap. Because I see all over the internet everybody screaming that, oh no, they done screwed it up, they done delayed it, and all this kind of crap. And the original creators have been kicked off the team. Well, I can tell y'all something. The only way original creators are kicked off the team is because original creators sold their controlling interest in it. So the way that works is like, say, Five Nights at Freddy's. That dude, I should know his name by now. I've heard it enough, but I don't remember it. But the guy that created Five Nights at Freddy's, all right, he sold creative control of Five Nights at Freddy's to some big company, right? And they signed in the deal that, he's still going to have, like, creative control, and he's still going to do this, and he's still going to do that. Well, I'm sure in that contract, they didn't pay all that damn money for Five Nights at Freddy's just for him to do whatever the hell he wants to do forever, and they just get a little piece of the pie. Now, eventually, they want control of it, and they want to have that to have and hold, and that to be their shit, right? That's all there is to it. That's the way it works. It's because they want it. They don't want him to have it. If they wanted him to have it, they wouldn't pay him just so he could still have it. He already had it. So eventually, they're going to screw it up, because these people, they're just idiots in a damn corporate boardroom, and they don't understand how real humans work and how their brains work and what it is that they want out of stuff. Give you an example. I owned a porta potty company, and I ran it for about 10 years, and we was very successful. We was always there. On the voice messages for the porta potty company, it listed my cell phone number. So if a customer had a problem, I've delivered toilets on Christmas Eve, on July the 4th, on the day of the 4th, because all them other companies, they ain't answering the phone because those people, they don't give a shit. They're just there to collect money. They don't really care about the customers, and they don't really care about the customers being happy. All right? Well, with, and eventually I had to get some stents put in my chest. Seems like everybody that runs a porta potty company ends up getting bypass surgery or some crap, because it's real stressful when you got guys driving trucks around full of doo-doo, and, you're always worried about, are they going to be running over a bunch of kids at a school bus stop, and, flipping the trucks over in a ditch, or dumping raw sewage in a creek or something. There's always some kind of freaking nightmare going on. So I had to sell it, or else I was going to freaking die. So I sold it. Well, the company I sold it to, they said, hey, this is a very profitable company. We'll buy it from this guy, and we'll run it, and so we'll be profitable. But they didn't do the things that I did to make it profitable, which the things I did was I always put the customers first, and I always made sure that my prices were a little bit cheaper than my competition. I started off at $75 for a porta potty, and there was companies that were close by, they were charging $80 or $85. Well, within the course of 5 years, they were out of business, and I owned all their porta potties because they called me up and said, hey, do you need any more porta potties? Because nobody wants to take a doo-doo in mine. And I said, sure, I'll use them. So I bought all their porta potties, and they were all out of business. And it wasn't like, I hate these guys and I want to be out of business. I was trying to build a successful business. So I just made sure that I provided the best service that I possibly could at the most affordable rates. And that was it. It was that simple. It's just a numbers game. Take that, you dumb bastard. But, like with Star Wars, all right, well, what happened with Star Wars? George Lucas runs Star Wars, making whole crap loads of money and stuff. And he started getting older, and everybody, he heard a lot of grief from people on the internet about the prequel trilogy and stuff. They wasn't happy with it. And he got aggravated, and he said, you know what, I'm getting old anyway. Why don't I just go ahead and cash out and I can retire? So he sold it to Disney. All right, well, then Disney started making movies, and some people like them, some people hate them. I ain't picking sides or nothing, but I can tell you from being a young kid when the original ones came out that the new stuff, it ain't nothing like the old stuff was. The old stuff was like, it was totally different. So those original fans, you're not going to keep them. And I think a big part of it is that anybody other than the original creator, they don't truly understand the creation. In my view, anything that Disney makes, that Star Wars, it's like a fan film. It's a very, very high budget fan film or show or whatever the hell it is. And some of it might be pretty good. Some of it might not. I don't know. Well, Same thing with Five Nights at Freddy's. What are you doing over there? I'm over here, idiot. Come here. I'll fly on your mouth. Take that. How you like that, you little son of a bitch? Well, it's the same thing with Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, eventually it's going to turn into a pile of crap. Well, with the Subnautica team, if the original creators have been booted off of the project, then that means that they sold the controlling rights to somebody else. And it's going to be whatever those people want it to be. And more than likely, those people answer to somebody who wears suits, and they sit in a boardroom, and they look over Excel spreadsheets, and they just try to manipulate things in a retarded manner from people that don't understand video games. And they just try to say, okay, how do we make this to where there's more money on this other side of the ledger so we cash out and we make more money? That's what controls it, and that's what the whole thing is about, is how do we make more money? That's all they give a shit about. So, you're going to lose a lot of the attention to detail, the perfection of the creation. All that stuff is going to be different and screwed up because the people that are doing it, they don't understand that. They don't even care about it. They're just worried about those numbers on that Excel spreadsheet. So, Subnautica eventually, probably more like Subnautica 3, is going to turn into, what's this Excel spreadsheet say? Take that, you little bastard. Get off me. I'm trying to murder you. I can't see you. You're hiding. Chicken shit, little bastard. Come here. I'm sick and tired of your crap. And that's what it's going to turn into, is they're just worried about them numbers on that Excel spreadsheet, and they want it to be what they want it to be. And you'll play along, and you'll play Subnautica, and whatever version of Subnautica that they create, it'll be better than no Subnautica, maybe. It might be garbage. I don't know. We'll see when we do get it. But that's where the stuff comes from. Now, I'd like to think that they're delaying it because they want it to be perfection. You know, and that'd be great. But, you know, there comes a point to where, you know, I spend a lot of time in a band. There comes a point to where, okay, this song is done. You can go in the studio and start recording a song. But if you mess with it too much, it loses the magic that made it what it is. You know, if you seek perfection whenever you're recording a song, and you spend countless hours trying to mix it down, and you know, the bass needs to be a little bit lower in this mix, or this cymbal's a little bit too loud. You start micromanaging it, then it's nothing like what it originally was or originally was meant to be, and it just ends up being a pile of crap because it loses that magic that made it really special. Well, the same thing with a game. You know, you can't overproduce a game to the point to where, you know, a lot of times those rough edges is what makes it to where people connect with it, because people are not perfect. You know, it's like with AI stuff. You know, if the AI looks really good, there comes a point to where, all right, well, that AI looks perfect, but something inside of your brain knows that it's not real, that it's not human. And so you can overdo it. They might overdo Subnautica 2. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Probably something gay and dumb, because you get dealing with these corporations and they don't understand people. You know, but the way to combat it is to look at your own creativity and say, you know what? I can make something better. And you just do it. And you create the next Subnautica. You create the next video game. You know, and then you'll be faced with an option. Look at that little bastard hiding in the map. He's cheating like that speedrun son of a bitch. I don't like that shit at all. Get out here and take this shit, you little bastard. But anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted. But see, like an issue like this, some people might hold their game in development for another 3 years to try to fix this problem. But it's like the people that love Subnautica, they don't give a shit about this. They know that these Reapers, they're just little chicken shit bastards, and they're trying to hide from you because they don't want to get murdered. And he'll come out eventually. And when he does, murder will be waiting on him, because I'll be patient and I will murder him. But little imperfections like this in the game, to me, it ain't a deal breaker. To me, it makes the game more human. You know, it was made by a human, and they put their heart and soul into it, and that's what made this game special. The soundtrack is epic. It has the perfect amount of ambience. creepiness. It's just great. It's a great soundtrack to explore this alien world. And the alien world ain't perfect, but guess what? The real world ain't perfect either. So that's fine. There comes a point where you just put out what you got and you make it as good as you can, and then you get feedback from fans and they do beta testing and all that stuff, and you try to polish it as much as you want to, but it's going to be what it's going to be. And then you create your idea for your next game. Oh, there he is right there, little bastard. Come here. I got a present for you. It's called dental work. I want to work on your teeth with electricity. You can't find me? Oh, no. Oh, he found me. I'm scared now. Take that, son of a bitch. But what they need to do with Subnautica, maybe Subnautica 3, what Subnautica 3 should be, is they just put them all together. That's the way you do it. They've already created a perfect world. They've already created, with Below Zero, a lot of people didn't like it. They miss having the sea moth. They don't like the sea truck. They don't like all the twisty turn, seizure, vomit-inducing tunnels and all that kind of crap. Well, if you think about it, if you got Subnautica and you got Below Zero installed on your computer, then let's see, right now I'm facing east. I ought to be able to turn over here to north and just go that way and eventually get to Below Zero. And it could be as I go out through there that while you're just going through the open ocean, that the other game is loading up. And it takes just long enough that whenever it gets loaded up, boom, there you are. There's one of them damn gingiviathans trying to murder you. And you got to haul ass and get through the edge of it so you can not get murdered by the gingiviathans. You go out that way and you escape the ghosties and you keep going, and then you get to the gingiviathans and you keep going. And then with like Subnautica 2, they can make it where you go west. And off to the west is the new land, and that's where Subnautica 2 is at. And that would make this game the most immersive shit in the whole world. And it'd be epic. And it'd be totally awesome. And that's the idea on how to make it the coolest game ever. And that idea is free. It came from an old bastard on the internet. And you can pay attention to that shit or you can not. Whatever you want to do. Do what you want to. You're going to anyway. It's the best advice I ever got. When you're dealing with grown folks, they're going to do what they want to. They're going to anyway. And you can only control what you control. So the way to make Subnautica awesome is tie them all together into one big game. And the way for you people that are upset over the fact that they kicked out the original creators and all that kind of crap, is you create the next game like this. You make it better than this crap. You create the perfect game. And then if you want to sell it, it's yours. You can cash that bitch out and get paid and not have to worry about money no more. Or you can still be a multi-bazillionaire by retaining the rights and maybe selling, like look at South Park. Those guys sold, back whenever COVID happened, those guys sold the rights they signed a 7-year contract with HBO to where HBO can exclusively show South Park, right? Exclusively. They're the only ones in the world that can show South Park. They got paid like $900 million for a 7-year contract. They didn't lose control of South Park. They still make South Park. They still do whatever they want to with South Park. HBO paid that kind of money just to be able to exclusively show it for 7 years. So when you look at that kind of crap, there are ways that you can control your intellectual property and protect it from these corporate jackasses and do all of that shit. And there's and you can screw up and you can sell your controlling interest of it, and then they can do whatever the hell they want to with it. But the true answer to it is, for you guys out there watching this video, I'll be waiting. And you send me a message and you let me know. And you use your brain and all the time that you spent playing these games and the things you like about them and the things you don't, and you come up with the next game. And I'll be, if I ain't dead yet, I'll be here and I'll play it and I'll support you guys. And I'll talk about how fucking awesome it is. And it might be buggy. And I mean, hell, look at the first damn Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, I mean, when you look at it and you compare it to this game, it's like there really ain't a comparison, you know. But it's not about how flashy it is, about how pretty it is. It's about the humanity and it's about the idea, you know. And if you come up with a good enough concept and a good enough idea, then people will support you and they will be there and they'll be excited about the next one when you make it a little better and a little better and a little better. And they'll be there with you, you know. I know that I will. I know that I'll be there with you. This damn Python jackass. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But I'll be there with you, and I'll support you. And you guys are the answer to all these problems. Is you create, you imagine. Because all this stuff spawns from your imagination. And it's a beautiful place. Peace out, bitches.